The following is meant for entertainment and educational purposes. It is not meant to establish a doctor-patient relationship. Please consult your mental health provider for your mental health needs. Hello, welcome to Chez Eric, my home, where we talk about psychiatry and religion with a focus on how to apply it to your life. And this is the William James series, where we're talking about the varieties of religious experience, and we will be talking specifically about six souls, lectures 6 and 7. This is part 6, the last part of this section. And this is where William James makes some closing remarks about the relationship between healthy mindedness and the sixth soul. So just to recap from the beginning, I'll just do it because I like doing it. I think it's helpful. I hope it's not redundant. I do think it's helpful. We identified that healthy mindedness had a little bit of a difficulty in figuring out what to do with evil. The best they could do is ignore it. And for a lot of people, they couldn't ignore evil. That was just not in the cards for them. And so for them, evil was an inherent aspect of life, inherent in human nature, inherent about the facts of life, and they needed something else. We then discussed about, versions, how, the way they went deep into it. We want to look deep into people who are very, very pessimistic, such that they eliminated all good. And then we explored two different examples. One of the French asylum guy who just only could see evil, and William James would say pathological melancholy, which we would then equate to, let's say, major depressive disorder. And then we have a different version of Tolstoy, who was very depressed, didn't have any meaning in his life, but then found meaning in his depression by pursuing God more. And then that's how he got out of it. And then we finally concluded that the happiness isn't about ignoring evil, but rather finding meaning in life, in the things in life, in the values in life. And that's how the sixth soul finds happiness, and that's the nature of their religiosity. In this last sort of portion, William James then makes and compares and contrasts sort of the relationship between, healthy mindedness and the sixth soul. And so to the morbid mindedness, the sixth soul, healthy mindedness is really blind and shallow. Are you really ignoring reality here? That's really dumb. And to the healthy-minded, the sixth soul seems really immature and pathological. Are you complaining again about this really small thing? All you do is complain. You don't look for any solutions. Complain, complain, complain. All right. And that's how the two are kind of clashing. So the morbid-mindedness, though, ranges over a wider scale of experiences. If you ignore evil, if you avert your attention away from evil, then good is good, and that works so long as it works. And it works for many people. However, when it becomes undeniable, when evil is just in your face, when the most undeniable version of a bad thing is dying, about to die, and it's in your face, that's when the healthy-minded method starts to break down. So even if someone is free from sadness, the healthy-minded sort of take on it is inadequate as a philosophical doctrine, because evil facts sort of exist. There is evil in this world, right? And it is a genuine part of reality. However, these facts are the key to living life with meaning and significance and the possibility of understanding truth. And so what does he mean by that? Well, think about your experience. Are you defined and are you shaped by the happiest moments in your life? Or are you actually shaped by the ability to persevere through the most difficult parts of your life? I would say that the most difficult and most challenging parts of our life are actually what shapes us. And I would say a lot of people who are very successful would agree with that. It is the failures that we experience and overcome that allow us, that shapes who we are far more deeply, and that we derive meaning from that. And that is what makes life have meaning, and that is the way the sixth soul, the morbid-mindedness, understands life. And so yes, we have healthy-mindedness, we have morbid, but that's the relationship between the two. And so in the natural process of life, everyone goes through difficult times. If anyone disagrees, just wait, okay? You're going to go through a difficult time. I'm sorry, that's just gonna happen. Evil exists, right? But when a healthy-minded person ignores it, it creates a less complete belief system. And therefore, the most complete religion is one where pessimistic elements are best fully developed. And religions that are all just about, say, health, wealth, and prosperity and happiness is going to fall short when it runs into the realities of life. And religions that are able to incorporate pessimistic ideas and concepts in a very meaningful way and healthy way, that is able to stand the test of time. So this is a fairly intriguing concept, if you really think about it, because look at the world out there. We have a general tendency to go towards happy things. If you look at YouTube and the algorithm and what it's showing to us, it's always going to show us happy things. The religions that promise happy things will typically be more popular than religions that don't promise happy things. But if you look at all the religious leaders, the major religious leaders in our history, they never really emphasize happiness as the main thing, as a path towards God. And so the relationship between happiness and God seems to be much more complicated than simply ignoring evil. And in that pursuit and that journey and understanding the complexity of it all, that's where true religiosity can really spring forth. But for as long as there's more money in a capitalistic society to give people, like, would you spend more money on happy things or sad things, right? Which one would you spend more money on, right? If a religion is founded on a monetary system that you receive more happy thing, if you're a happy religion and you get more money, well, that's going to create a system. That's going to create a really weird system, right? Where you're not actually creating a well-developed understanding of the world. Then when religion fails, well, because it didn't have a good understanding of the world, right? Because the monetary system was created such that it would only do a healthy-minded one that isn't truly true to reality, to the world. But this doesn't just affect religion, it also affects psychology and psychiatry. Because what is the nature of our therapy? Does therapy make us dig deeper into the unhappiness to find meaning? Or does it tell us to just, say, breathe and ignore that unhappy stuff? Now, I'm not criticizing all therapy that does this, because not all therapy does this. What I am criticizing is superficial versions of mind tricks that you can play on yourself to eliminate your unhappiness. I truly do not believe that just breathing is going to help you in the long run. I do believe that just breathing with a very calm breathing technique can help calm your mood down on a biological sense, so that you can begin to work on the issues that are happening in your life. But if you just do the breathing as a means to stop and ignore the emotion that's happening and then just move on with your life and never really truly philosophically and existentially reflect on your life, it is not going to work, and it's not actually good therapy. I'm sorry, I just have to say that, right? And yes, there are going to be case studies and stuff like that that show, breathing techniques work. Yes, they work to help you get to the point where you can talk about the thing and deal with the thing that you need to deal with. And so for as long as we have a mental health system that is geared towards happiness or eliminating unhappiness and just ignoring unhappiness, and as long as because the mental health system isn't really geared towards talking about existential and spiritual things. I am told, don't bring up religion in my practice because that is bad, even though most people have a religious background of some sort. Now, I agree with that to a certain respect, because I should be respectful of, religiosity and things like that, and I should only bring it up when they bring it up. However, that means that I am ignoring the very thing, right, that has meaning in a lot of people's lives. And then on the religious standpoint, if you're only happy, you're only dealing with happy aspects and you don't deal with sad and negative and pessimistic aspects and incorporate that into religion, well, that's going to be inadequate as well. But we have William James talking about what is the religious experience, and that it does include unhappiness. And he is a philosophy, doctor-y, religiously person. And when you take these two and you have this knowledge of the human mind, and you bring it together, then you can actually truly start asking the right questions in your life that are really meaningful to you and answering those really meaningful questions. And that's really hard to do. And I can't do it in 10 minutes. I can't even do an entire lecture series. I gotta do it with lots of materials to you, throwing it at you, lots of materials throwing at you, throwing out a lot of questions, a lot of thought-provoking ideas, so that you can work on that on your own. And if you want to hire me to help you with that, sure, I'll have offerings somewhere eventually, very soon, I'm hoping, right? Great, hire me to do it. I am very expensive though, I am a psychiatrist, so it might be too expensive. So I am trying to create products and things for you to ask those really hard questions and answer those really hard questions. But that is the point of this sort of thing about healthy mindedness and Sick Soul and Morbid Mindedness, right? That's what we're talking about here, okay? And thank you, William James. I know you're dead, but thank you, William James, for writing this so I can talk about this in the very well thought out way that you did it. I hope you enjoyed that part and the end of this particular lectures 6 and 7. We'll be going to the next lecture series very soon, so I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, do like and subscribe. Bye. Hey, how's it going? Check out my new website. It's available now. You can learn more about me. You can also check out some things I'll be offering in the future, webinars, books, and whatnot. It's a fancy website with a lot of moving parts, designed by someone who's very, very talented. So check it out when you get a chance. All right, I'll talk to you later.